Hey guys, so ahead of my usual patch notes video, I wanted to do a sort of what's coming up this week. So we're going to be touching on what you can expect to be added in this week's patch following the dev stream that happened over the weekend. So I'm not going to go into detail on absolutely everything, and there might be things that were missed from this list, but essentially this is what we're sharing in alpha as a summary of the stream so that everybody's aware of what's coming up next. So let's get started. So Shai's coming as of the 26th. Now you're going to be able to pre-create this character as of the 19th. So from this week's maintenance, you're going to be able to create your Shai ready for when the class is released on the 26th. Now the class is a support healer type class with very little offensive ability, and it really does very little offensive damage. So the Shai class is going to pretty much appeal to people that are in guilds or are looking to join guilds and want to fill that role as support, disruption and healer. So that's coming as of the 19th to pre-create, and then the 26th is when she's going to launch. So they did also do some surveys in relation to releasing other classes. So what they're going to do is take that away and work on the classes that people feel that they want. So it doesn't seem like they have any solid roadmap in place currently. We do know that Camasylvia is the last thing off this first quarter roadmap. Once this comes to an end, we're expecting a new roadmap where they're going to lay out what's coming next. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. It'll be interesting to know what classes are coming. Now the 100 days event as well, it's still ongoing, so make sure that you're making use of that. You can check out all the details on the console.blackdesert website. Yes, the website has been renamed from Xbox to console. You can still access it through xbox.play.blackdesert. It does redirect you through to this new console website, but it looks like they're consolidating everything together, ready for the release of PS4. Now they did touch on PS4. They wanted to reassure everybody that the Xbox will not be put on the back burner for this, and they are going to continue to develop the Xbox content. Now this is good news for anybody that was worried about it. However, for me personally, I don't think I ever thought for a second that PS4 was going to be coming in and that was going to stall Xbox's progression. So that's good to know. Now they did also say the same for mobile. I don't think that many people are bothered about mobile just yet, but we'll be seeing that later on. Now they did also say that there will be no crossplay between Xbox and PS4. That's reassuring for people looking to pick up PS4, and especially for people that are thinking of pre-ordering on the 2nd. The 2nd of July is when the PS4 pre-order starts, and the fact that there's no crossplay currently scheduled, it's a good and a bad thing. It's good that PS4 is going to have their own time to catch up and play and enjoy the game without being behind another batch of players. However, I hope that this no crossplay does change in future. For me, at least personally, I think Xbox and PS4 crossplay would be a fantastic thing for this game, and it would definitely help to increase the population. There are a couple of logistical issues though when you look at crossplay, things like character names, family names, guild names, all of which would need to be looked at as in a way of implementing a cross-platform without impacting that. As you all know, family names and character names are a huge thing in Black Desert. With it being a persistent world, with it being a giant, essentially mega server, although split up into various shards, people get a reputation and a name for themselves, and that's a huge thing. So having crossplay disrupt that in any way just wouldn't fly with the player base. But anyway, we'll move on from there. Hopefully it is something in the works in future. I know I'd like it, and I know a lot of other people would too. Now on to the more interesting stuff. So in this update, we've got Nouver coming. Now Nouver is a world boss in the desert who drops the AP offhand. So for those of you that don't already know, the AP offhand is considered the best offhand. Now I say that, unfortunately you can't see it with air quotes, but the Nouver is the best when it's balanced correctly. So depending on if it's going to push you to various brackets or whether it's not. Now I'm going to cover this in detail when I do a Nouver versus Kutum video. However, for the most part, if you have a Kutum, you're going to want to keep it for PvE, and if you already have a AP offhand, you don't really need Nouver. That again though, take it with a pinch of salt, because ultimately you will want Nouver. Now speaking of bosses, Nouver's coming into the game, but we do not have access to Dandy yet. So the Dandelion Awakening weapon isn't going to be coming in this patch. However, even though Dandy's not coming in this patch, I will expect to see a price hike in terms of memory fragments, relics, your books, and also your scrolls. So it's up to you if you want to stock up on these things. I would personally, if you're planning on upgrading Nouver. If not, I'd say that now is the best time to grab any for any other gear, because again, memory fragments are more than likely going to shoot up to 1.5 million before they come back down in price again. This is a trend that we're going to continue to see. If people haven't already clicked onto this, consider it free market advice. Whenever something comes out that needs memory fragments, the memory fragment price spikes. This is just a given. If you haven't noticed already, you've probably been living under a rock, but this is a way that a lot of people are turning a quick profit if they're not planning on using their memory fragments themselves. So definitely something to consider, but ultimately, Nouver's coming into the game, it's a new boss offhand, it's something new to look to get. Now moving on, for me at least, something way more interesting than Nouver coming into the game is the Arsha server. Now, Arsha servers, for the Xbox players that don't already know about this, are a specific server shard, so similar to like Valencia 1, Serendia 1. Now, the Arsha server is a 100% PvP server. You are always flagged. Now, for this, you gain 50% experience and an increase of 50% to all drop rates. This is absolutely huge. This is going to be where a lot of people look to grind, and it's going to help to reinvigorate some of the PvP on console. A lot of the things that we're seeing at the moment is people griefing grind spots, karma bombing. None of this is possible. Once you go onto that Arsha server, if you go into a grind spot, you're fair game. People can grind you as they grind their rotation. So for those people that have the better gear or are comfortable with PvP, Arsha is going to be their new home. This is also going to mean that guilds are going to be fighting over these spots all of the time. 50% drop rate is no small amount. This is the equivalent of essentially using a drop scroll at all times. The beauty of this is it stacks with those boss scrolls, with those item drop scrolls. So that means that you can increase your item drop rate to huge amounts. Compared to what we've currently got, this is absolutely fantastic. Reinvigorating PvP, increased experience, increased drop rates, and just a whole lot of fun. Those of us that have come from PC love the Arsha servers, and anybody that's interested in PvP is going to love to call these home as well. So this is something that I'm really looking forwards to. It is worth noting that to be able to access these servers, you do have to be level 50 or above, but that's the same for PvP in general anyway, so it doesn't really detract for anything. Next up, in terms of PvP, we also have the Battle Arena. Now, the Battle Arena is similar to Heidel Arena, it's just bigger, and you can teleport there from anywhere. You've probably seen it in people's PvP videos when it comes to Xbox. Whenever anybody's demonstrating PvP, it always tends to be in the Battle Arena. This is great in terms of being able to quickly teleport there, duel people, and go back to your grind spot. So, take it or leave it. You may or may not use it. I know for me, as somebody that tends to duel a lot and likes to 1v1 a lot, Battle Arena and the Arsha servers are just my new homes for a whole lot of time. That's pretty much where I'm going to spend all of my time. Now, staying on the topic of PvP, we also have the Calphian Node Wars and the castles being added. So up until now, we've only had Balanos and Serendia regions. They didn't have any huge benefits, but they did give guilds the crown symbol next to their name, and you got the money from the regions. Now, this money is huge. Calphian also adds a bunch more nodes, which means that more guilds are going to be able to contest and hold nodes. But more importantly, for the bigger guilds and for the siege guilds, we've got the castle sieges. Now, holding Calphian Castle gives you a drop rate increase for the entire region. So that alone is going to be a huge driving force. I know, as you can expect, Alpha are going to be pushing for this castle, and it's going to be where we want to call home. So we're hoping that the PvP is going to be quite fierce, and it's going to be a really contested spot. We'd love to be contested there as much as possible. And we're happy if other guilds can come and take this place from us, or if they can beat us to the punch and take it over on day one. I'm ready with my wizard, and I know that the rest of the guild have been gearing up for this since release, so we're all definitely looking forward to this. I know that the NA servers have got a lot more competition as well, so this is going to be a fun experience, and it's good to see that Castle Sieges are finally coming. It is worth noting that the first week's going to be less money in there, so they're not just going to give us, all the tax. It is also worth noting that the guild that takes this for the first week is going to get a decreased payout compared to how much it normally would be, but it will increase from there. So again, Calphian is going to be the region to take currently until they implement more castles like Medea and Valencia. Other than that, there's a couple of little fixes, and they talked a little bit about the roadmap. So Imperial Trade is coming back. Hopefully they're going to completely fix this ridiculous guild menu issue where whenever somebody in the guild changes or enters a server, your cursor jumps to the top. It has been the bane of Techie's life when it comes to doing the guild payouts, and I'm sure that other GMs feel exactly the same, and just other members of guilds in general. On top of that, the hot time icon disappearing will be fixed. Now the thing about this leads me to believe that hot time is going to be continuing. So the hot time icon disappearing, fixed. Yeah, I think we're going to have hot time for quite a while to come, but we'll see what they say when that comes out. And the last little things that we've got here. So the roadmap, Kama Sylvia is not on it just yet, so we're waiting for these details to come out. Again, people wanting to play the Valkyrie, despite the fact that the community manager was surprised about this. It'll be interesting to see when the class gets implemented. There are new classes coming, they just don't know when. 5 pets, the ability to have 5 pets is coming soon. TM, so trademarking that soon on behalf of Pearl Abyss and the Black Desert team. And then we've got Fairies, Tents, Alchemy Stones, no dates yet. Party Elixirs in the next update. They've confirmed that Shai's Awakening is a loot. Transparent sails for fishing boats were requested, but whether we get them or not will be, it'll take time to see that. The Kaposha accessories, so for people at level 61 they should have got the equivalent of a tri-crescent ring. People that are hitting 62 should get the equivalent of a tri-tongue rad earring, and I think 63 is a belt or something similar, but essentially they're not in the game at the moment and they're something that we're waiting to be added as people are hitting those benchmarks. Free accessories are great, although most people are already at 61 and above have probably already started pushing for equivalents anyway. So just to wrap this up, things like the Zerka Striker and Witch buffs from PC, they're not sure when those are coming. The Etheria boat isn't going to be coming until Magoria comes out into the game. And then we've got special deals expected to come into the next month, which is going to make group grinding a lot more. There will also be some gifting coming, so 3 loot scrolls for Xbox players is something that they touched on, and hopefully this is a step in the right direction. Okay guys, so I've just realised this video's gone on for 12 minutes. It was meant to just be a quick recap, but hopefully I've covered everything that's coming up in the patch. As always, I'll be doing the patch notes on Wednesday and covering those for you. I tend to get those out within the first half an hour to an hour of the servers being up and cover off a lot of the vital information for you. As always, if you're new to the channel guys, hit that subscribe button. Feel free to comment in the comment section any type of criticism or any ways I can help to improve the content. Feel free to drop them there. Everybody's really friendly here and everybody's open for a good discussion. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.